Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hello, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing for lots more diamond painting content, and if you are back, as always, welcome back. Today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat, and WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat just means we're going to sit down and chat a little bit today. I'm actually going to be doing a kit up and chat here at the beginning, but I'm hoping that this is going to go quickly enough that I'll get this kitted up, and then we can actually start working on this kit because I have the new Diamond Art Club toolkit that I very badly want to try out some of these new accessories with you guys. So hopefully this is going to go pretty quickly. So feel free to pull out a project and work alongside me if you like, or if you want to treat this like a podcast, if I'm just keeping you company while you're out and about. Whatever I can be doing to keep you company today, I'm just excited to spend the next probably hour or so with you guys. So as far as, okay, what I'm going to be kitting up and what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be working on the kit Almond Blossoms from, this is the Make Market brand at Michael's, which is a crafting store in the United States. And this is a really cute little kit. It's only 21.5 by 27.9 centimeters and comes with the little hanging frames so that it's like already ready to go and everything. And so I strongly suspected that Make Market is has a parent company of Diamond Dots because it has a lot of the same features, including having some of these like red symbols and whatnot. So interestingly, this kit did not come with any kind of legend on the canvas because it's display ready, and also didn't come with any kind of separate printed legend. And I was like, oh shoot, how's this gonna work? And then I realized that all of the symbols on the canvas are letters. And so what they did is they just printed the letters on the bags of diamonds, which I'm like, oh, I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. That's resourceful. So since it didn't come with any kind of stickers or even anything I could run through my label maker, I am just going to be using these labels and just writing the letter on them. Very, very simple. And I'm going to be using this mini Elizabeth Ward style set that I got on AliExpress, and my friend Rax, who's Raxify on Instagram, had initially shown, and I was like, that little mini set of Elizabeth Ward style storage containers I feel like would be so perfect for little projects. I have other storage setups that can work for smaller projects. I just don't love anything as much as I love these Elizabeth Ward containers. I love that there's a really wide variety of sizes available, and like you can mix and match different containers. They're really secure. They're really just space efficient. It's just everything I'm really looking for with my storage solutions. So when I saw there was this little mini set, I was like, well, now I really am not going to have a good excuse to be trying out other storage solutions very often, but that's okay. So anyway, where are my scissors? They're there. And I think that's all I have to share with you as far as what I'm going to be working on and with today. We're going to see if these look promising as far as static goes. So fingers crossed with that. But anyway, hello, how are you doing today? I hope that your week is off to a wonderful start and that you had a wonderful weekend. Happy Father's Day to any of you that are dads and we're celebrating. Quite frankly, most of my audience is women, but there's some guys that follow me here too, so hello to all of you. And I hope that you had a good weekend. I feel like summer is in full swing, and we're definitely feeling that over here. And so yeah, I am excited to be kitting up this kit. I was debating between this particular kit and two other Make Market kits that I had from Michael's. There were also little Old Masters kits as well. And I couldn't decide. I had this one. I had the Houses of Parliament. It was Sunset, the Sunset version by Monet. And then I had Starry Night by Van Gogh. So I ended up putting it to my Patreon to help me decide. I do have a Patreon if you would like to ever give any extra support to the channel and have some fun perks like getting to see behind the scenes with weekly vlogs, and there's a monthly live for one of the tiers and whatnot, but no pressure whatsoever. I actually try not to talk about it too much. Just you guys watching my videos is an incredible amount of support that I am beyond grateful for. But I'll sometimes have them help me with deciding on what kit to work on next. And so yeah, I had put it to them. I was like, you guys, I can't decide what kit should I work on next for my Summer with the Masters project. And this is the one that by far got the most votes. So Houses of Parliament, I think, was the runner-up. And then Poor Starry Night. I think that maybe people are just a little, I don't know if they're burned out on seeing Starry Night. It's like, it's kind of a rite of passage. I never did like just the plain Starry Night kit. I only ever did the, who was the artist for it? Oh gosh, I'm blanking on it. I'm so sorry. Was it Asia Trier? It was the corgi butt version. Like it was corgis and you saw like they were facing away though. That was in the style of Starry Night and it was from Dreamer Designs. My gosh, that was like the 4th or 5th kit that I ever worked on. That confetti though, was that the very first, that might've been the very first square drill kit I ever did as well. So yeah, that's the closest I've come to doing a Starry Night kit though. And I don't know, I feel like, am I really a diamond painter since I haven't done the classic version of Starry Night? I don't know. But yeah, so that one, Poor Starry Night, didn't get very many votes and that's okay, but I really like this Almond Blossoms one. Rachel Ray is working on a really beautiful, like larger scale version that she got from Jada Gem Shop. And it's just pure confetti, and so props to her for taking on that project. I'm loving watching it come together, and I just thought, well, maybe this little smaller scale version will be the closest that I get. Okay, at least I'm not having to go through any real trouble to like draw the symbols, because I did that on my Great Wave off Kanagawa kit. I didn't have any kind of label maker with me and it doesn't come with any stickers. So I was just trying to draw these different symbols and I am so incredibly not an artist. It was a little comical, but so yeah, I feel like this Summer with the Masters this year is going to sort of inadvertently turn into like the summer of mini kits for me. I'm waiting on my John William Waterhouse kit from Jada Gem Shop. I'm hoping that'll come in the next couple weeks. We'll see, fingers crossed. But like that isn't, what size did I get that in? Maybe like a 50 by 50. I got a crop of that particular image. So I'm expecting that one. But otherwise, most of the other kits that I already own and are in my stash are just not really calling my name. They're either too big or just like really confetti heavy. And so I thought, well, I don't know, maybe I'll have to save these for another summer. I'm not sure, but I have these little mini kits from Make Market. I just got in a really cute mini kit from Diamond Artisan that I absolutely want to work on this summer because I think it's so cute that this small shop did a little set of mini kits, and so I'm thinking about that. I'm gonna run out of the smallest size containers. I'm gonna have to start using up some of the medium ones just for lack of anything else to use. These are all just the smallest quantities because this is a really little kit. But so yeah, I had lots of like big plans and ideas for working on some really, I don't know, bigger kits this summer. There's this beautiful Alphonse Mucha panel that I have from Diamond Painting Shop. That's one of the Times of Day kits, but it's just, it's huge. It's like 50 by, how much is it? Is it 50 by 120, 50 by 150? It's just such a big kit, and I don't have the, I don't know, I guess I just don't have the gumption to work on something that's that large right now. So I don't know if I'm gonna get to that one. And then I have a couple versions of Zodiac by Alphonse Mucha, and I don't know how much those are calling my name. So I don't know. This summer's gonna look a little different for me with Summer with the Masters stuff, and that's okay. That'll be okay. But I've really enjoyed seeing all the different projects that you guys have been working on for the event, and just really gorgeous progress photos that have been taken. I've tried to check over on the like the hashtag on Instagram, and also a lot of you have been posting in the Diamonds and Emeralds Facebook group, which I love. So it's just been really, really neat to get to see all these different projects people are working on. And it's not too late to join in if you want to find out more about the event, like what is it, how do I participate, what goes into this. I will do my best to remember to link to the event kickoff video that'll have all of those details for you. But this weekend is going to be it's my week for a Summer with the Masters video. And sorry, I forgot that there's like sometimes this little bit of extra plastic and it stops it from shutting all the way. So let me try tweezers, see if I can pick that off. But yeah, so I have some ideas for what I might want to do for content, but I haven't nailed it down yet. So I gotta think on that. But I want to jack up my tweezers. Oh, I did get it off. Let's see if that helps that close a little bit more flush. Mostly. Yeah, that's the one thing I run into with these off-brand, like not Elizabeth Ward brand storage containers. Sometimes the lids do not want to close quite as securely, but I think we make it work there. What was I saying? Summer with the Masters, how to join in. I think that was about it. But it's been fun to kind of explore some of these mini size kits, because I feel like stereotypically old Masters kits you think of as being these really large undertakings and being, huge, confetti heavy, taking a really long time, possibly multiple summers. And I love that this year I'm able to go, how about we do the smallest old Masters kits that I can possibly find out there. If I hadn't already done the Paint Gem mini set last year, I'm sure that would be on the docket for this year too, but that's okay. I did order one that I found that had a dragon in it that I do have an order in, but I don't think it's going to be in on time for me to work on this summer. That's okay. Maybe next summer. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm not running into static with this particular set, because I thought, shoot, if it's a subset of diamond dots, sometimes that is just going to be a staticky mess. But knock on wood, so far so good. We're over halfway through these, and I am definitely going to have time to actually work on this kit with you guys. When I was kitting up the Great Wave at the retreat, I just had the absolute worst static ever, and it took me 3 times as long as this to kit that kit up, because it was a fight to get every single color out of the bag. It was ridiculous, but this is delightful. And by the way, thank you guys for jumping in and sharing in the comments your thoughts on as far as when you diamond paint, do you track how much time you're spending on it, like how long it takes you to complete different projects, or if you kind of take a more laid back approach to it. It is interesting to see that most of you seem to be like me, and that you don't necessarily track your progress on projects, and sort of, you for whatever reason. Sometimes I wish I had that data. Like, I think it would be really interesting to have that data, but I also appreciate that would add some, I think, undue stress. I'm really excited after I finish kitting this up to get to work with Diamond Art Club's new toolkit with you guys. They have really had my number in recent weeks with all of these new releases. Hades and Persephone coming out by Margaret Morales. Oh my gosh. When that one was in voting, I just was like, please let this work out. I worked on that image when it was licensed to Die Moon Shop, and I was kind of pulling back out my pictures that I had taken of it, and just sort of refreshing my memory. I was like, I don't remember disliking that rendering. I remember that there were parts of it that I was like, that could maybe be a little bit better, but I don't remember it being atrocious, And, but I still am incredibly excited to work on it from Diamond Art Club, because I really am enjoying how they render Margaret Morales' artwork. And I think I will probably start on that one right away. So stay tuned if you want to see that one done. I probably will go ahead and do some side-by-side comparisons with the version from, hold on a second, how do I want to do this? Let's do it this way. With the diamond shop version, just out of curiosity, just to see, I think there will be some differences. I'm curious to see which one I'll prefer, actually, because like I said, I didn't hate the diamond shop version. I'm sure it'll end up being softer than the Diamond Art Club version will, but I can't resist. I love that image so much. I was tempted to save it for Drills and Chills this year because I did Hades and Persephone for Drills and Chills. Was that 2 years ago? But I don't think I can wait. I just don't think I can wait. So I have that on the way. I have the first Maddie Arts kit on the way. I really wanted to support that artist when she debuted with Diamond Art Club because I am so excited for all the artwork of hers that has been in voting. And I want to be like, look, she's I want to be part of being like, look, there are people that'll buy her kits. I'll buy her kits. Please keep releasing more of them. And so I'm excited for that one. It looks like it has a lot of pinks in it. So that very much has my name. And of course, like a lot of these kits are going to be coming with the new packaging and toolkits. And so that's going to be exciting too, especially to see, like, I think the round drill kits are going to have like the pink branding on the box. So I'm looking forward to all of it. Okay, we have all of our colors ready to go. 15 minutes, you guys. That was fantastic. That was so easy. No static. That is the difference that having no static will make. So let me grab, we have our kit here. I do need to grab something flat to put under it because I have this no, that's really loud. Okay, I'll just flip it this way. My kid's placemat. Sometimes I'll put like a sheet of cardboard under this, but I have, with there being a, there's this here, this table runner, and then I have like it's not really like it was raw wood, but it's like very textured wood tabletop. And so if I try to diamond paint on it, it doesn't really work very well. So let me go ahead. I'm going to adjust the camera actually and bring you down a little bit closer, figure out the glare situation, and we'll get started. All right, so I think we're all situated here. I have the new toolkit here that we'll go ahead, and I'm going to try and use the tray as well. We're just going to like try out all the new things. If you want to see me do a really in-depth unboxing of Diamond Art Club's new toolkits and the new packaging and everything, I did do an unboxing that went up, I think, on Thursday. So feel free to go and check that out if you want to hear me talk about it in depth. But I am really curious to try this pen, and it was very, very highly requested. So this is it's actually refillable with putty in it, and it doesn't twist. You have to kind of pull it kind of firmly off, and then if you look, there is some putty that sticks out the end. And if you want it to like have more come out, you have to just twist kind of firmly, and it does push some more out. You can kind of see it. And then you can either use scissors apparently to cut it off, or you can just kind of pinch it off. And I guess they said a little goes a long way. So I'm going to see, like there's just a little bit here on the end. I'm going to try that and see how that works. I also at some point, probably not in this video, but if you're wanting to refill it, you unscrew this part and you pull this out. It's like really stuck in there because physics, and you can put more putty in there and then use this to kind of push it in. So I'll play with that another time. I'm not gonna do that right now, but that is a thing that you can do. I think that they're anticipating that you won't necessarily run out of putty on a single kit, and you'll continue to get one of these pens with each of your kits. So maybe that's why they aren't necessarily anticipating that you're going to need to refill it, but it is an option. This, they did tell me, is their older formula of the putty. They haven't transitioned over to the new version yet, but they're in the process of doing so, where they have made it a little bit less sticky, I guess. So stay tuned. I'll be sure to try to ask them, okay, when is it officially rolling out and everything, because I want to be able to give that info to you guys as well. Now let me grab, I'm just going to use some of my washi tape, and I think I'm just going to section this kit off into 4 sections. I'm not even going to measure it. I'm just going to eyeball it. And yeah, just make this kind of easy. I know a kit like this, you don't necessarily like have to section it off with washi tape, but this just helps me just sort of create I don't know, distinct sections. I like the structure of it, I guess. Oops. And it gives me a chance to go through some of this washi tape a little bit faster because I have way too much. But okay, so we have that taped off. Let me grab this ceramic pen cutter and should do the trick. Okay, peel this back and oh, I'm excited to use this pen. Oh, I meant to also check and see how well the thin metal multi-placer fits in the other end of it, because I will want to be able to use my multi-placer, I think. I want to have the option of it. Grab it from another pen real quick. That's a little bit loose. Maybe I'll just leave it though. Not in the washi tape for the moment. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna use the new tray, because we're just going to test out all the new things. I don't usually use stoppers when I'm using trays, but it's nice that they offer them. Okay, what color is sticking out to me? Let's grab the letter M. I think that one is. Okay. This is my first time using the tray, so let's see how the drills line up. Okay, not bad. Not bad, you guys. Do the tilty trick, and that one, I mean, that lined up pretty well. What that bit is, I think that's from the drilled the whole extra like tail on it. Okay, so letter M. This is the moment of truth. Let's try out this new putty and see what we think. Okay, so yeah, that was easy enough to pick up. There's barely any putty sticking out. Ooh, that pop. I'm not having to press hard at all to pick up the drills. I'm just lightly touching them and they're picking right up. I don't really use putty in my single placer, and that's not to say that you can't by any means. It's just personally I tend to prefer wax in my single placer and putty in my multi placer. So this is new territory for me in that respect as well, but I was finding that Diamond Art Club's putty, oops, see I touched the canvas there. Let me try, if I pinch that off. Ooh, there's a little bit of extra, hold on. They did say you could use scissors to clip it off. I'm just gonna try pinching it off and see, okay. I was finding when I use the putty in my multi-placer that I was really easily getting, the Diamond Art Club putty that is, kind of crumbling just a little bit and getting stringy on the canvas, and so I don't find myself reaching for it in my multi-placer, but it's interesting to use it in a single placer. Well, no complaints so far, you guys. So anyway, okay, let me get back to talking about all the things now that I've talked my way through just sort of the process of getting started with this. But yeah, it was fun to put together that toolkit video for you guys, the new packaging and new toolkit. It's one of those things that it's like, okay, this is the current iteration of this packaging and these toolkits, but Diamond Art Club already has plans to update some of these things. For example, the box size is going to be streamlined, so there'll be less packaging, and it won't be quite as large either. When I saw it side by side with one of my older kits, I was like, oh, that box is thick, and I live in a small space, so bigger size boxes are going to be kind of tricky. So that definitely would have been feedback I would have given them if they hadn't already said like, yeah, no, we're changing the box sizes. So there is that, and I know they're already looking at improving the putty formula and adding pink wax back in with these. So I appreciate that they're trying to listen and make adjustments based on feedback that people are giving. But I don't know. I'll be curious to especially try out the new formula of the putty, particularly in my multi-placer. But that video was, I'm thankful that I felt like I had the margin that day to really be active and responding in the comments, because I know change is really hard and some people have like really strong opinions and feelings, and that was completely okay because I asked. I told people in that video, I was like, please like, give your honest opinions on this, you guys. Like, because how is Diamond Art Club gonna know what we think unless we're giving our feedback? And so I was like, what do you like about the new toolkits? What do you dislike? What do you miss from the old toolkits? What are you good to be doing without? And it was interesting. There was a really mixed bag in the comments, and there were different people that really felt like they were missing different things, or they were, fine without other things. And it's interesting the way that, like, we all approach diamond painting a little bit differently. And like, for example, for me, cover minders, them removing the cover minders is no big loss, because I don't really typically use cover minders in my day-to-day diamond painting. I like collecting them, but I like to look for ones that are personally, like, appealing to me, and I buy those as opposed to getting really into the free ones that come with kits. But that's just me. And so, like, that's no great loss to me, and was always kind of, I don't know, it didn't feel like a big priority for me out of the toolkit. So yeah, there are other people that were like, oh my gosh, I'm really, really going to miss that. And both feelings are valid. And I know the Diamond Art Club's trying to just probably make whatever decision they feel like is meeting the needs of like the most people that they can. So, oh man, this has no border over on these sides because it's like hang ready. So I'm trying to be cautious there. I don't know if this is one I would need to seal. Oops, picked up an extra drill. So I wonder if the putty is spilling over at all. Let me see. A little bit, like it's kind of coming out the sides, or it's kind of like spreading where like there's like a divot where the top of the drill is making. Okay. Anyway, so I'm excited to see what changes are coming and continuing to come out. And is it the right? Yeah, that is. Okay. And yeah, I'm just going to stay tuned. Frankly, I was happy that I was able to get this done, because I tend to get these big mental blocks about things and feeling like I'm paralyzed and unable to get them done. I put up a video this past weekend that was talking about my top suggested beginner tool upgrades, and I had been talking about and thinking about doing this video for, I think it has to have been like 6 months now. Yes, that long. And the thing is that I had done this concept about 3.5 years ago, where I did a video that was like my top 5 recommended upgrades. I think I'd been diamond painting for a little less than a year at that point. My channel was still not super old, but that video ended up like that's one of my more like popular videos long term. But there's a lot that I felt like I've learned in the past few years, and things I wish I had done a little bit differently with how I presented that video as well. And I had always kind of thought like, man, I think I kind of want to redo that video at some point. Like, not delete the old one by any means, but just like, I wonder if I could do that concept again and improve on it, and bring things like my sort of different opinions I might have after another 3 years plus of diamond painting. And I did end up changing up a little bit about what I recommended. Things like I didn't necessarily recommend that you get a new wax alternative. I was like, the pink wax I feel like is fine, and I would not prioritize getting a new wax, but I would prioritize getting a putty. And I added washi tape into the mix, which had not been something I included in my first iteration of that video. But I just, I was really happy with how that went. I kind of spent a day sort of prepping and doing a ton of research, and trying to make sure I had like all of my price points, my different sort of pros and cons written out, because writing it all out really does help my brain. And for videos like that, I feel like it benefits from sort of brainstorming and mapping them out more. And I was happy when I was able to sit down and do all the filming in an evening, and then it was done, and I said, okay, let's listen back and see if I feel like I need to go back and, refilm anything. And I was pretty happy with it. And so I'm happy that I was able to put that video up. I hope that others do find it helpful, especially beginners that are trying to figure out what sort of upgrades to prioritize, because it's like the Wild West out there. Just out of curiosity, I went to Amazon and put in like diamond painting tools, and it just comes up with the craziest variety of things. And I feel like a lot of these companies will have like a tool bundle that has one thing in it that I feel like is really useful. And this is subjective. You can disagree and be like, no, they're all useful. But it, you know, it might have something like a pen or an upgraded tray. And like, that's the really useful upgrade in my opinion. But then there will be a bunch of other stuff that I feel like is almost clutter that's in the mix too. Like, and I'm trying to think of a good example. Here's the thing to wash your drills. And it's like, I don't, what? Why? And here's like this thing, and here's this thing. There's just a bunch of stuff that you don't really need. But you go, oh, well, they're selling it. Like I must need it, right? And it's like, no. Cut through the noise. You don't need it. I promise you don't need it. So anyway, I felt good about being able to put that video together. I feel like generally I just had a more productive week. I was able to get some things done that I was really having a big mental block over. And that video sort of, after having that sort of hanging over my head in a way for 6 months of being like, okay, I think I want to do a take 2 on this concept. Now actually having it done is like, okay, I feel so much better. But I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if any of my regulars or seasoned diamond painters will have gone back and watched it, but it's there. And I think a little bit about that now that I've had my channel for nearly 4 years. I go, okay, are there other videos that I might want to sort of revisit those concepts? Is that something that would be helpful? I almost wonder sometimes if when people come to YouTube and look for tutorials or how-tos on things, how often do they look at the date that the video came out and go, wow, that video's 3 years old. Like, I'm not going to watch that because it's probably, I don't know, like it's old, it's outdated. I don't really have any concept of how people's brains actually work surrounding this thing, but I do wonder that. I wonder that sometimes. And so, yeah, I guess that's been on the brain a little bit. Are there other things I might want to try revisiting? But for now, I'm just going to be glad that I did one. I feel accomplished. And I just hope it was helpful. And so I had that go up. And yeah, overall, just a productive week. I'm feeling better. I know last week when I filmed, I was sort of fresh off of getting a bronchitis and pink eye diagnosis, and both have cleared up pretty well. I have a little bit of lingering, I feel like there's a little bit of just a little bit left in my lungs. I'm kind of coughing a little bit, but that is apparently very normal. So I just am hoping that with time it'll keep improving. It's definitely a lot better than it was. So I'm glad that I am on the mend that way. And thanks for all of the tips that you guys shared last week about here's some different ways you can do eye drops. I tried some of them and it helped. But I still absolutely hated doing the eye drops. There's nothing about it that's going to make that enjoyable. But so I am on the mend in that way, and was actually I kind of built up some energy and even did like an additional, I think I had 6 videos go up last week, which is not my norm. It's usually 5, but I know that there are a lot of kits and things on the way. This past week alone is when I had it was like a deluge. One day, I swear that I had like 3 different diamond painting kits come in that were from different small shops that I had ordered at various times over the course of like a month, and they all came in on the same day. So I want to make some time for those unboxings, and then all of the they're not technically pre-orders. They were like, I don't know if you call them pre-sale or early sale kits that Diamond Art Club has released, the ones that I've been buying over the past few weeks that have been must-haves. I got a bunch of shipping notifications for most of those, and so I just think that this upcoming week or two may be a bit unboxing heavy, and I'll try to space things out as best I can, but it's a little bit just a timing thing. but I don't know, have you guys picked up any of those like new releases or other like fun small shop releases that have been coming out? There's been some really, really good stuff lately. And I'm excited to get into some of those for sure. So let me shake these up again. The tray is working great. I think that the size on this is a huge improvement. And the drills are lining up well, and I have no complaints about this tray. This tray is really nice to work with so far. I started on autopilot going back to using the multi-placers. So I'm like, no. Remember to try out the single placer. Keep working with that one. But I also wanted to share a quick update because I know I've had some people ask about the retreat and if we're planning to do another one, and that is currently still TBD. We're still in talks about that, and I'm really well aware that there are a ton of people that are interested, and I don't know exactly what this might look like, because it's just, I never realized how much work goes into planning a retreat. And like, even though we are like those of us that were on the planning committee for this one, or YouTube creators or whatever, like we're still just regular people and trying to plan all the elements of that and execute it was a lot. And so I have a lot more respect for like event planners and whatnot in general, and some of these gals out here and guys that are planning diamond painting retreats somewhat regularly or have been for years. So I would just say stay tuned for those of you that have been asking. When there's something to share, I'll definitely let you know. In the meantime, I would point you to the Diamond Painting Retreats Facebook group. I know there's some people that have been doing like Zoom, like online style diamond painting retreats. And I think that's a really, really nice way to get to connect with other crafters. It doesn't require you to spend any money and doesn't have necessarily like any space constraints the way that sometimes in-person ones do. And hopefully it just feels, I don't know, like a good way that you can jump in and not feel like you're being left out. Because I know it can be kind of hard when you see people, all excited coming back from retreat and talking about it. And it can feel a little bit like, oh, well, I've been, left out or excluded or something. It's like, no. I promise that's never the goal of any of these retreats. I promise, at least definitely not ours. And I hope that you're able to, find some connection with people that you really click with, even if it's like in an online way. And I feel like that's a good option for those of you that, again, are on a budget or aren't able to travel and time off work, that sort of thing. So I love the creative ways that people are coming up with to do these kind of virtual retreats too. So Diamond Painting Retreats group on Facebook is, I feel like, just an invaluable resource for this kind of thing. Okay, so the tip of my pen, when it touches the glue, it's almost like it pulls some more of a little bit of the putty out of the pen, which is interesting. So I'm just going through, it's not terribly fussy. I'm just noticing like, oh, there's just a little bit there. So I'm just gonna pull some of that off. I am definitely finding that you do not have to have like any putty like I have no visible putty sticking out the end of this whatsoever. I basically scraped my finger flat, and it's flat here, and it's picking up the drills fine that way, and I feel like it's creating less mess. So that would definitely be a suggestion that I would have just from this sort of initial learning diamond painting that I'm doing here with this tool. I'm definitely noticing a difference in terms of it does feel a little bit more ergonomic than the basic pens that come with the kits. It doesn't have like the same level like of the complex turning, and even ones that are like a little bit thicker than a lot of hand turn pens do, but this is definitely still an upgrade from the basic pen. I don't know. I was skeptical about this putty, you guys, but I'm not hating it. It's really not bad at all. We are officially on, just shifting away from diamond painting topics because I keep getting distracted. So we're officially on summer break over here. The kids had their last week of school last week, and hold on a second. hold that thought. So I'm curious to see, because I can't be the only one that uses my single placer to sort of like adjust drills once they're down. I was able to adjust these without too much fuss, but it's a little bit different than having that metal single placer. I mean, it works, but I'm trying to make sure I don't touch the glue so that I don't pull out any putty on it. But yeah, no, that worked. I'm sorry that this canvas keeps moving around. Just using this placemat down here instead of like the bit of cardboard like I usually do is just really, it's sliding everywhere. So I'm sorry, you guys. This is just the unedited and very just chill WIP and Chat. So yes, the kids are on summer break. They had their last week of school and their last day of school, and they're excited to be out for the summers. Connor especially. I don't think anyone is more excited that it is summer break than Connor. He's so happy. He's my oldest. He just finished up his first year in a gen ed class. Gen ed is like just sort of your typical, usual class at school, as opposed to like a dedicated special ed classroom that's separate. And so this was Connor's first year in a gen ed class. And just when I think about how hard it was for him at the beginning of the year versus how well and amazingly and just very easily he had settled into things by the end of the year, I'm just so happy. And he had made some friends by the end of the year, which was wonderful, and was really thriving in a lot of ways. And his teacher and everyone was really remarking on just how big of an improvement he made. So my mama heart was very, very happy that he just was doing well. And then my youngest, Micah, just finished up kinder, and he's still in a dedicated special ed class. And he came really far too. I think I mentioned last week that I was going to be going to an awards ceremony that we'd gotten a little invite in his backpack from the teacher that had said, oh, Micah's getting an award at the third trimester award assembly, and you're invited. It was during a school day. And so I went, and he got an award for writing, which is so cute because he doesn't really write a lot. But, he went into kinder not really being able to write much at all. And now he writes his name. He's very excited to get to write his name. And he does a lot of numbers and other letters too. So I just am always thinking about all the ways that they've grown and they're doing so well after the end of the school year. And this always happens to me. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I get very reflective and pensive thinking back on, when a chapter comes to a close or something like that. I get very pensive and just sort of reflect on how things have gone. And I'm definitely in that phase here as we've come to the end of the school year and are going into summer. Last summer was tricky for us because Adam was job hunting at the time, and so we were keeping things really close to home and not trying to do a whole lot. And this summer, thankfully, we'll be able to look a little bit different. And I have been looking at and finally sat down and mapped out some different summer camp type things for Connor to do. Michael will be in summer school for over half of the summer, and so he'll have that, but Connor doesn't get, bless you, doesn't do summer school as part of his IEP anymore. But it's I want him to be able to still be doing fun things and getting out of the house and whatnot. And of course there's a lot of that I can do myself as his mom, okay, let's go to the park, or okay, let's go do this. But for 2.5 months of that is, I don't know, it's a lot for my brain. So we decided to try and do some summer camp type activities this summer. So we sat down and kind of mapped a few out to do, and some different themed ones and some different kind of lengths and styles of ones. And we're going to try to do a few that are 1 week ones throughout the summer. And hopefully there'll be one that he really clicks with and has a lot of fun with. The one that I'm particularly excited about, there's one that's called Ninja Camp. And there actually weren't a ton of details on the website about exactly what this consists of. But like it's through the city and stuff, so it's all legit. But I just thought, I don't know exactly what this is going to consist of, but I hope it's going to be fun. There was like just a blurb on the, on the registration website about it, but I am highly intrigued, and I can't wait for Connor to come home from that and tell me about it. But we won't be doing that. I think that's like in August, so we've got a little time before we do that one. Then there's like a reading one that sounds like it would be really, really fun for him because he is such a reader. Literally his little end of summer gift, I got each of the boys just a little like, or not end of summer, end of school year gift, just a fun like summer kickoff gift. And the one I got for Connor was a chapter book in a series he really enjoys. I was really excited to see that. And I got Micah this cute little, it's this little tiny toy set of different figures from this game called Pikmin. He's just been really super into this particular game on our Nintendo Switch, and he's just obsessed with it. We only have the demo of Pikmin 4 on there because he's just perfectly content with just the demo, but he's so into it. So I found this cute little toy set on Amazon of the characters, and that was his little summer kickoff thing, and he was very, very excited to open that up. So yeah, lots of summer plans we're kind of talking about. Adam and I are trying to figure out if we're going to try to go to, there's a Star Trek convention in Las Vegas that they do it, I think, annually. And it's hosted by Creation Entertainment, which is the same organization that puts on the Supernatural convention that I've been to two of in various locations in the U.S. And what's that piece of plastic from? Make sure it's not from one of these containers. Okay. But they're doing a Star Trek one, and Adam and I have just really been on a major Star Trek kick lately, and we've been trying to figure out, like, do we think we could go to this? It's kind of a long convention, though. I think it's 4 days, and that's a lot to ask of someone to watch our kiddos. So, and we both really would love to go together. I know Adam could like go by himself or with another friend. I'm like, no, I want to go too. And so we're huge. I mean, I've made no secret of it here on my channel that I'm very much a nerd, and I love that just sort of being a nerd and loving the fandoms and the things that you love has gone very mainstream, and it's not like a weird or embarrassing thing anymore. But I don't know, it just kind of feels like a fun sort of bucket list type thing to do. And I had said something to Adam about how maybe we should wait until like next year or something like that. I don't know if this is the right year to do it. And he did point out, and I know this is just a tiny bit more, but he's like, a lot of these actors for shows that we're interested in seeing like these actors on their panels for, he's like, they're not getting any younger. And I was like, that's a good point. So yeah, we might try to go to that. I don't know if any of you guys have been to it or are going this year. You'll have to let me know. It's got a heck of a lineup, and it's got I mean, there's like over 100 guests that are slated to be on it, and it's actors and actresses and cast and crew and stuff from anything from the like the original series or Next Generation all the way up to like the shows that are on now. Like, I mean, William Shatner is going to be there, like Jonathan Frakes and stuff. And then there's a number of actors. Like, it's still wild to me to see Anthony Rapp's name on the cast list for one of the new shows. I think it's Discovery, because I just so strongly associate Anthony Rapp with Rent, like the musical and the movie. He actually came and spoke at my college when I was in college, and I remember going to like see him speak, and he had just recently released an autobiography, and I remember having him sign it and getting like all starstruck and stuff. But it looks like he hasn't even aged that much since then, when I've seen some of like the promotional images for the show that he's on now. But I haven't watched it. Maybe I should. Maybe if we do decide to book this and go, I'll just start binging a bunch of the new shows that I'm at least a little familiar with those, and I can enjoy those panels and whatnot. But yeah, anyway, so we're debating about doing that this summer, just the two of us, and then thinking like, would we want to do any kind of like little family vacation with the kids at some point? So I don't know though. It feels like we already got a lot on the schedule and a lot to be excited about. So I'm just going to be really happy and content with what we do have planned. That's kind of our summer plans. We celebrated Father's Day today, of course, with Adam, and he had been gone on like an overnight camping trip with friends and got back late last night, which was Saturday night. It's currently Sunday evening. And so he was pooped. He's like, I just want to rest. Everything hurts from hiking and whatnot. And, but then we decided to try taking the kids out to eat. And by that, I mean like to a sit down restaurant. And let me tell you what, we have not tried to take our kids to a sit down restaurant in a very long time because it's a lot. It's a lot, especially our youngest. It can just, it's not, I don't know. I'm trying to think how to put it. He's very rambunctious. He can sometimes be loud, and it just, I don't know, it would be a lot for us and for our fellow like patrons of the restaurant. And so we just haven't taken them to a sit down restaurant. And I think it's been years. It's been a long time, but I don't remember which one of us floated the idea first about like eating out. And I was like, I think it was me that said, I think we could probably take the kids and like go and sit down somewhere if you want. And so we went to BJ's, which it's a chain restaurant out here that's kind of like all American type food. It's like a sit down place. They have really good like deep dish pizza, and I'm trying to think of like equivalents like TGI Fridays or like Chili's or something, but I feel like a little bit better. They have really good like craft beer and stuff. But like we've been there a lot. They have these really delicious. They're called pizookies. They're pizza cookies where they make these cookies in this like pan that's like this big in the oven, and they have like a bunch of different flavors, and they top it with like ice cream or whatever. But it's been a favorite of ours. We've been there a lot, but it had been a while since we'd gone, let alone gone and sat down at one. We thought, let's try it. We went out early so that we would try to beat potential Father's Day crowds, which was a good idea, I think. And the kids did okay. Micah was pretty restless. He was really wiggly, but we were able to kind of have us situated so that I kind of had him a little bit contained sort of in between like me and the wall. And so he wasn't running off or anything. We had brought, a couple of like electronic devices to distract them with. And Connor was perfectly fine. Like he's a piece of cake. And Micah was fine, and they both ate, what's our stereotypical American kids meal is chicken tenders and French fries, and they both had those. And Adam and I had our meals and got cookies after our pizookies at the end, and it was just a really, really nice outing. And I was like, okay, that was it was a little bit stressful, but it really was not bad at all. It was fine. And we had a really, really nice time. And so that was fun to get to do. And it's just another way that I feel like, as the kids have gotten older, it has just gotten a little bit easier to do things. It's not highly stressful and like worried about, meltdowns or tears or something like that. It's just like, okay, no, we're okay. We're finding our rhythm, finding our feet, and got to do, a nice celebration of Adam for Father's Day. So June's a fun kind of celebration month for us. There's Father's Day, it's the end of the school year, and then Adam and I's wedding anniversary is coming up. We're coming up on 14 years, and that just feels like I'm not old enough to have been married for 14 years. I mean, I did get married what I feel like is very young at the ripe old age of 21. And I look back and I go, oh my gosh, I was a baby. I had no business getting married at 21. But, that's a lot of like life to get to do together. And, so that's coming up. I think I'm not sure if we'll try to like get our sort of newfound sitter out to watch the kids and maybe do something one evening, or maybe see if Adam's parents want to come get some kid time and we could go out. But we'll try to do something to celebrate our anniversary, and that'll be fun. other than that, I don't know. We sat down with the calendar today and just really mapping some things out for the summer. And I think I'm really hoping it's going to be a good one. I'm really hoping it's going to be a fun summer and that, that we're just, gonna have a blast, us and the kiddos. Let me know. What about you guys? Do you have any fun sort of summer plans? I think I've asked that the past couple of WIP and Chats, but as I feel like now my brain is actually in summer mode now that my kids' school has ended. Now I'm like, okay, no, really, but what are you guys doing for summer? Can I have some ideas? So as far as what I've been reading and watching and listening to, reading wise, I actually was pulling out my, I had gotten at one point a physical copy of A Court of Thorns and Roses after realizing that I feel like I sort of absorb and experience books differently when I read them as opposed to listen to them. Like I enjoy both ways, but I just thought it would be interesting. The first and only way that I've listened to A Court of Thorns and Roses was as an audiobook, and I thought it would be interesting to try reading it and sort of see if I don't know, if it's like a different kind of way of sort of absorbing the story. So I did start on that a little bit and listen to like a little bit more of the second book of From Blood and Ash, but like not a ton of exciting reading updates this week, unfortunately. But a little bit. Watching wise, Adam and I are so close to the end of Deep Space Nine. We might finish it this week, maybe. We were mapping it out. It was like, okay, if we watch 2 episodes a night for like 4 or 5 more nights, we will finish it. And we're in like the last sort of chapter or saga or whatever they're calling it, where it's like these next 10 episodes are like totally serialized. They all lead into each other, and it's the arc that leads all the way to the end of the series. And so I have my sort of predictions to myself about, I'm like, oh no, this is happening. Does this mean this character is going to die? And oh no, is this happening? Does this mean this might be what happens? I am enjoying it, and I love that I'm still finding so much joy in this show that is 25 years old. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I did actually, like I kind of joked about last week, believe it or not, I did actually go back this past week and I started also rewatching it from the beginning because we started this show years ago and I don't remember almost anything about some of these first couple of seasons. And so I thought, well, I want more Deep Space Nine, but we're only watching it in the evenings, like after our kids go to bed. And so when I need a little something to listen to during the day, when I'm, if I have some time to diamond paint while the kids have been at school or something, or if they're being chill, or if Adam's like out for the evening and I'm obviously not watching Deep Space Nine the last season without him, I did start rewatching from the very beginning and am enjoying that as well. This is how I watch shows that I get really into. And then as far as what I'm listening to, I've been listening to, I've kind of been listening to some different YouTubers in sort of podcast form where I'm not like looking at the screen at all. I've still been binging a lot of like Jenny Nicholson's videos. Her commentaries are so funny and so enjoyable, especially the ones that are related to like Disney and like Disney parks and stuff. So I've been kind of listening to those in the background, kind of, podcast style, and of course, listening to Taylor Swift in the car, like always, and trying to make sure that I skip quickly forward on any songs that start that I'm like, wait, does this one have a swear word in it? If my kids are in the car with me. So yeah, that's my little segment on what I've been reading and watching and listening to. I was curious to see, as I was placing some diamonds with the single placer and I was kind of doing some filling in, if it would give me any trouble as far as if the putty would try to stick to the diamonds around it. Let me grab one more color. I know we're about at the end here, but let me grab one more color to do some filling in and I'll kind of try that out again. Let's grab the letter J. That would be a good one. Look at how pretty this is already coming together, you guys. My comparison project from Jada Gem Shop is coming along too. I just finished another row on both canvases, and so I have just 2 rows left, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to try to do an update video before I just kind of blitz to the finish. I think I do want to try to do one, but it's just, I have a lot of filming and stuff that's going to be happening this week, so we'll see. Okay, let's try filling in some of these spots. So as long as I'm kind of picking it up straight up and down, it's filling in without too much fuss, but my tendency is to pick up drills with my pen at a slight angle, and so because I feel like I can see better that way, and so I'm curious to see. It doesn't seem to be giving me any trouble. The putty's giving me a little bit of a pop, which is fun. You don't always get popping sounds from putty, but it's giving a little bit. I don't know how well my microphone is picking it up, but yeah, that's not bad, you guys. Okay, so thoughts on this putty. This is okay, being completely honest here. I was not asked to review this or anything by Diamond Art Club. Like they're not that kind of company. But I was like, I'm really curious. I know you guys are curious too. So, honest thoughts. This worked better than I expected. I was a little bit skeptical going into it, especially knowing that this is kind of the softer putty formula that I didn't necessarily love using in my multi-placer. It is working better for me in the single placer than the multi-placer. If you're going to try using this, suggestions I would have are basically to, you could use a pair of tweezers or maybe the flat end of your fingernail and basically just scrape it off the end so that you don't have any visible putties. You don't need any putties sticking out the end. In my opinion, this works different slightly to me than the pick-me-up tool that was really popular in other crafts I know some people have used. This feels a little bit different to me. I never could get the hang of the pick-me-up tool. But it's been a long time since I've tried one, so maybe it was just a learning curve with that one. I'm not running into issues with the putty didn't lose any stickiness at all. When I did accidentally brush it against the canvas, sometimes a little bit did come off. And so I wonder if sort of over time it's pulling a little bit of putty out, even if I'm not pushing it out. But this was a lot less fussy than I was expecting it to be. A lot less fussy than I was expecting it to be. I'm interested, maybe I should try this putty in a regular pen in a single placer to see if I would like it better, because that was pretty easy to use. I did not have to push and refill it whatsoever. It stayed that way the whole time, but I did have to go over it a couple of times and kind of scrape off a tiny bit of excess that had come out. Yeah, I don't know, you guys, give it a try. And the pen was a little bit more ergonomic than I was expecting it to be. It was pretty comfortable. It definitely has. I don't have one near me to show you by comparison. Oh yes, I do actually. This is a toolkit that came with this Make Market kit. So side by side, the basic pen and this one, even the basic pen with the squishy, this is maybe a little bit thicker. Maybe about the same as the squishy, but there's no squishy part on it. But it's still, in my opinion, that was pretty comfortable. So. I would say give this a try if you haven't, even if you're skeptical like I was. I have no complaints. Honestly, it's fine. It'd be fun if they did different colors in these pens though. Just the plain white is a little bit blah, but I also get that, hello, this is a basic toolkit. But I love the idea of what if they did different color trays, different color pens on here. That would be a fun way to sort of spruce things up and make it interesting. So you don't just have a big stack of these white pens. But again, we all just had a big stack of those basic pens too. So I don't know, you guys, let me know if you've tried this out and what your thoughts are. Hopefully if you ordered any of these new kits in past weeks, those are going to be making their way to you soon and you'll be able to, see the new packaging and try out the new pens. But what I have coming this week, you guys, I am going to have, I said, probably a lot of Diamond Art Club unboxings because I have a lot on the way and a lot that I'm extremely excited to share with you. I need to do my Summer with the Masters video for this weekend coming up. And if I can squeeze it in, I feel like it'd be great to do a small shop haul. And there's something else I talked about in this video that I'm maybe a Jada Gem Shop comparison video. I'm just going to see what the mail does and how my availability shakes out. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, how about a flower emoji in honor of our almond blossoms piece with its pretty flowers? Let me know in the comments how you guys are doing, what you were working on while we chatted, and any fun plans you have for the summer. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you here, and I hope you have a day and a week that's as amazing as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.